Monkey.
Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Codename Monkey bringing with you again Path of Exile. Last video I did Legion and kind of a guide in my opinions on Legion, and as you probably saw in the last video, and as you can see in here, I have a lot of incubators that are just kind of sitting around. I will say that I looked about selling them. The problem is, I think right now Legion is just a bit oversaturated, at least for trying to sell these. Now, that's not to say that you can't sell them. Obviously, like the ones that I use, the ornate incubators, for example, those go for a lot. But the ones that I don't use, those are just kind of sitting there. So I wanted to bring another video today because I mentioned it previously, just some content regarding Expedition. Now, I will say that Expedition is one of my favorite pieces of content in this game. I did it a lot before I started Legion, and there's also something else that kind of goes hand in hand when it comes to Expedition as well, and that's essences. Now, I'll show you as of right now. Sure, I have some essences, but I'm just practically empty at this point. I used to have, 30 of each of these easily, and for the longest time I didn't use them, but once I started getting into crafting, I used them more and more, and this is kind of where we're at this point. So that being said, I wanted to do a guide on Expedition, but also with the essence as well. And you'll notice in my inventory here, I have these Remnant of Corruption. I will kind of explain what those are going to be for while I'm running the map. I did want to bring up the Atlas because I wanted to show you guys what I run with this one. A link with this Atlas will also be posted in the description. So we're just going to start out down here. This is for essence. Your maps contain an additional essence. We did change over, obviously. We don't want to block out Expedition, so we want to keep this one open. And then we also want to do Short Deli as well, because Short Deli does have the chance to drop different types of things that we need, especially when it comes to medium, large, cluster gems, etc. The next one we want to do is this one. I really like this one, Shaping the Skies. 3% chance on completing your map to gain a free use of a special map crafting option. Maps found have 15% chance to be one tier higher. Now let me explain what this does. Completing your map to gain a free use of a special map crafting option. You might be asking, what does that mean? If you go in your map device here, you'll notice all of these, this map receptacle and all of these different things. Fortune favors the brave, Abyss, Essence, Ambush, Metamorph, Heist, Expedition, Harvest, right? So if that keystone gets activated after completing a map, it has a chance to unlock one of these things that you can use once for free. So as you can see for Expedition, as of right now, it costs 10 chaos. But let's say I finish a beach map or a strand map or a cemetery map, and it unlocks one of these, I could possibly get an Expedition craft for free. And that's massive. Obviously, a 3% chance is pretty low, but it's still a chance. It's better than having no chance at all. The next one I want to kind of bring up here is Stream of Consciousness. Your maps cannot be modified by fragments other than divine vessels. Your maps have 50% more base chance to contain extra content. So what does this do? So like in the last one with Legion, you guys saw how I used fragments, scarabs, and then the map, right? Well, you can't do that with this node. But what this does do is it gives more opportunities for Short Deli, more essence nodes, a guaranteed expedition, things like that. So this node is really good for just the extra stuff. The next node that I take personally, this is something, it's going to have to be your choice type of thing. I personally like it because I'm struggling with getting specific types of maps right now. So what I do is I take this node, Singular Focus. Maps found have 2% more chance to be favored maps. Now you might be asking, okay, well, what does this mean? Well, if you go to the Atlas over here on the left, you will notice that there's these map icons that I've set myself for specific types of maps. Now, I had this port one here because this was connected to Strand. But now that I have that 200% chance for it to be more favored maps, I can just set it to strand. And then I have a couple of beach maps. Oh, wait, no, this is arcade. I'm sorry. So I actually need to change that. So we want to set it to beach, which is right here. So we'll take this, set it to beach, this, set it to beach. Another way that you can do this, it's just kind of a shortcut thing. If you click this beach map here, and then you go down to this other one to change, that sets it to this one, and then vice versa. So if you click this one, set it to beach, you click this one, now it's a beach map. So that's just kind of a little shortcut. So now we have 2 cemetery as favorite map, 2 beach, and 3 strand. The reason I have 3 strand is because it's more of a straightforward map, whereas beach and cemetery, it's kind of open. You have to go all over the place. Where, you know, strand is just like a straight as an arrow. It's kind of like you remember in the campaign, the ledge. You know how ledge is just like one walk down, same concept. So now, one other thing I wanted to bring up in the atlas here is you want to take all of these different essence nodes, especially this is a good one, Crystal Resonance. Monsters imprisoned by a shrieking essence in your maps will be duplicated when released. Corrupting imprisoned monsters in your maps cannot release them. So this just means, you know, when you open essences, it has a chance to spawn two monsters, which means you get double essence, which that's great. That's what you want. This other one up here, amplified energies, essence found in your map are 1 tier higher. That's also very good. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the actual expedition nodes here. A lot of people like to go to Rog for their expedition because they like his crafting mechanics. I haven't ever had a lot of luck with that, so I like to stick with Dannig and Tujin. Now, the reason I do that, Dannig, if you're not familiar, I will just show you. You go into his inventory, exchange items. He's the one that has all the different types of currency, right? And he will additionally spawn down here discounted currencies as well as expedition logbooks and some of these types of things. So there's the burial medallion here. I'll just show you.
Farewell.
Burial medallion, a Strigali, exotic coinage, and then the ROG currency. And these are just used to kind of flip through the inventories to see new items, right? So this is what Dannig does. And so when he spawns in the expedition, you have more chances to get his currency that flips through his to give you different types of discounted currencies as well as logbooks. And then with each of these expedition members, you will see all of the inventory of what you have on the right side of the window. And then Tujin is pretty straightforward. You haggle for items. So you will see here all these different items that he'll have, and it goes from lesser, greater, grand, and exceptional. And you'll notice it goes from cheapest to most expensive. So this is the most expensive going down to the cheapest, right? So let's say I wanted this, right? It's greater black scythe artifact. You click on it, and then you have to haggle. So I typically like trying right in the middle. Okay, he doesn't like that. Do a little bit higher. Doesn't like that. A little bit higher. Okay, so you notice how he denied me 3 times? We can no longer haggle with him because if we do, he will exit the trade and deny us the item. So whatever he offers you on the 3rd time, you have to confirm and take it, or you will not get the item. There will be times where you might get a little lucky. So this is going to be... You won't take 52. What about 56? See, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes, you know, if you keep going as low as the bar will let you, he will give you the item fairly cheaper than you could have got if you only did like, you know, 75% haggle, whatever. A lot of players don't want to waste their time with that. They just want to get the items quick and continue. This is how you're going to get a lot of your early game currency if you're doing expedition. And divines do show up in this inventory sometimes. I'm not going to roll this inventory even though I have exotic coinage because I do want these cards and I do want these Essence of Envy. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go into the map. I have one already preloaded. It's strand, 101% item quantity, and 31% monster pack size. As mentioned in the Legion video, you want to make sure to have at least 20% pack size to get the full value. And then item rarity, 48%. You know, that's not as important. Obviously, it's going to be important, but what you're looking for is item quantity and monster pack size. So let's go ahead and run this. Let's see what we can do. All right, so unfortunately we didn't get a short deli this time, but that's fine. We're doing more Searing Exarch, like I mentioned in the previous video. I prefer this to Eater of Worlds. I just haven't really gotten lucky on drops with Eater of Worlds, so I just think the Searing Exarch is better. Obviously, that's just my opinion. Okay, so here's our first essence we want to get. A lot of people pick and choose what they corrupt. On the other hand, I just corrupt everything because it has a chance of giving you an additional essence. It also has a chance of upgrading the essence, and it also has a chance of turning into a specific corrupted essence. So let's go ahead and open this. These modifiers kind of suck. This is going to be difficult because they slow down. Okay, so there's one, there's two. Okay, wow. So those collection of debuffs were just kind of hard to deal with. But that's like the first of many essence that hopefully I can get on this map. As you can see, we are pulling up to in our ride here, we're pulling up to the curb of this expedition. It's Tujin, great. So he has a chance of dropping exotic coinage, which is that currency I explained that rerolls his inventory. It also has a chance of dropping his currencies as well. So one thing you want to look at right here are the things in yellow, because these are going to be the ones that you struggle with the most. For my build specifically, I have mainly cold damage with Ice Shot and Val Ice Shot. So if this says monsters are immune to cold damage, I want to avoid this altogether. Another mistake players make when they look at this is they think, oh, I need to get all the remnants because the remnants are going to be the thing that has all the stuff. That's not actually true. So if you read in here, you'll see runic monsters have 50% chance to drop an additional rare armor. That sucks. Why would you want that? I mean, unless it's like an armor that turns out to be like all tier 1 stats or something great, there's really not a lot of point for you to take this one. And you'll notice that with a few of these. This one is okay. It drops an additional currency. This one just gives pack size. Monsters gain 100% increased experience. So this is another one. It's like, why would you do this? This, you know, I'm level 96 at this point. This is not going to do anything for me. What you want to look out for are these little skulls here, and you'll see them sticking out next to the different remnants. Now, what these skulls indicate is it spawns kind of like a rare pack monster that has a chance to drop logbooks specifically. And logbooks are what you're going to want to collect to do the long expeditions. So kind of like the Mirror of Delirium, there's short deli and just a deli map. The logbooks are what are going to give you your expedition maps. And so what I like to do with all of the Atlas skills you're going to grab as well, it does kind of give you more room for error in a sense of you can have a huge area of stuff. Since this is lightning damage, I don't have to worry too much about this just because most of my damage is coming from cold and physical. And I know I said it's kind of a waste to take some of these sometimes, but because these circles are so large, I'm trying to include these skull indicators as well, right? So we still have one more. So this is where I would want to put it, because look at all these skulls. Look at all these skull emblems right here. This is what I would want right here. And the goal is to get as much into the circle as you can. And that'll obviously show you where you're putting it by highlighting the area. So we'll go ahead and do it there. And let's go ahead and start. I typically like to pop my Val Ice Shot after the first or second one explodes. That way it's going to give me DPS for the second, third, and maybe even the fourth explosion, because I'm going to be leading and kiting towards the Val soldiers so that I can get the most benefit out of that skill as I can. As you can see, I already also have it up. Nothing happened. Everything is fine. We're back in it. You guys saw nothing. I'm perfect. Everything is great. Nobody died. I don't know why you're saying that. But yeah, here we go. So that's perfect. Nice. No errors. No mistakes. Nothing happened there. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go around and collect all the different things that dropped on the ground. Again, like I stated in the Legion video, you don't have to go around and collect every single thing. It's just something that I like to do because, generally speaking, I'm a collector, and that's just what I like to do. So you'll notice as I'm opening some of these chests, it's bringing up little currencies here. So like that. I got 27 Grand Black Scythe, and that's part of the currency. Now, not every chest is going to give you that, but they do pop up quite a bit. And it does look like we didn't get lucky with a logbook on this one, but that's no worries. There's always next map. You're not going to get a logbook every map, but then there can be times where you get a logbook or 2 logbooks or 3 logbooks in one map, and it happens multiple times. So just don't get discouraged if you feel like you're in bad luck with the logbooks. They will come. Sorry about that. I have somebody that's wanting an item, which is good because I recently ran into a spot where I need more divines, so that's excellent. Again, kind of like what I explained in Legion with the Searing Exarch, we want to do either minion or boss. By minion, I mean the Searing Exarch minions, and by boss, I mean it's pretty straightforward. So once we go into the boss room, they will have a chance of dropping additional currencies, items, divination cards, etc. So let's do the second one here. Nice, there we go. And so you can see the boss duplicated. So instead of just getting 2 essence there, we get 4 instead. So we're just gonna keep going. One thing I forgot to mention, typically when I'm running these maps, I like to also get the essence. Like when you're in your map device and there's the different things that you can choose from, like expedition, heist, etc. I like to do 1 for essence because it gives you additional essence in your map. And then when you corrupt them, like I said, it has a chance of duplicating the boss. You get double the essence. XYZ, pretty straightforward. So yeah, we'll do boss again. Sorry, I don't know why I hesitated there. Let's see. But you can see I'm on Strand right now, and as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of walk, I mean, obviously not in a straight line, but it's easy to clear the map and go. So now we're at the boss room. Again, with Strand, as I highlighted in the Legion video, there's always 2 bosses that spawn in the room, no matter what. Perfect. So what's this? Okay, cool. So we got a big boy map. And as you can see, I'm getting a lot of, well, not a lot technically, but I'm getting favored maps left and right. Okay, so that kind of runs the map. Let's kind of look in our inventory, see what we got. The Hunter Secrets beach map, that was kind of just lucky on our part. As you can see, we got a cemetery map, another beach map, another cemetery map, and then we got the 7 exotic coinage. Now it's saying that these are going for 8 chaos each, so you could potentially sell them. I don't know how in demand they are. I like to keep them because of what I do is I use them to roll into new inventories of currency, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll go back to Tujin. We'll see all we got. So we didn't actually get enough greater scythe artifacts to get these stacked decks. But we are going to go ahead and just do a logbook so I can show you guys that as well. And we'll do this level 76 one here. And you guys aren't going to need the Remnant of Corruption for this logbook because these aren't going to show up in that map. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. All right, so to start the logbook, what you have to do is you have to click Dannig in your hideout, show expedition map, and we're going to just pull up the logbook that you have selected. And it does give you sometimes 2 to 3 options in here to pick from. And it's important what you read in here because they do give different bonuses as well. So for example, this one says 31% increased quantity of artifacts dropped by monsters. It also gives you 39% increased explosive radius. This one gives 46% increased explosive placement range. An area contains 10% increased number of monster markers. And then this last one, excavated chests have a 14% chance to contain twice as many items and 35% increased explosive placement range. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this one because the chests have 14% chance to contain twice as many items. That is huge when we're going in there to get currencies. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and open the portals. They'll spawn around your map device. I also think these portals look cool. So, all right. So we're just going to go in here to Mountainside. And as you'll see, all the different expedition people are standing here. And if you press tab to look at your map, you'll notice all these different icons. Now, the ones you're going to be looking out for the most is, and you'll see it here, this blue flag on the map, it will show as well. And then these little, it looks like a cave icon or a rock with glowing inside of it. You want to also get that one. And then they're feeling generous in this map because they gave us 2 caves, and also this right here is a boss. Now, I cannot guarantee that if I show this boss and try and take him down, that he won't kill me a few times. It depends on which one it is. It also depends on what's going on around him when he either crawls out or we go down into his lair. But I will show you nonetheless. Though I'm a trained professional, there are chances of getting hurt and even killed. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so what we're going to want to do is maximize these in here because these are what give you the currencies, right? So what I like to do is I like to try and plan my route around these caves and also bosses that spawn like that. So for this one specifically, I'm going to want to go up and around first. So we'll go here, there, there. And you'll notice that you have the cave, and it'll show you that it's highlighted so that you know that's covered, right? And even when you move the circle around, it will show you all the different things that it's highlighting when you move it. So we've got that one. That's good to go. Once again, I cannot guarantee that I will not die. There are a lot of things in here that I have trouble with sometimes with this build specifically, but we're going to try. So here we go. And I also like to try and keep up with where the explosions are happening. That way I can just clear as I go. And then I typically try and handle the caves at the last part. Okay, so we have a rare monster there, so I pulled out the Val arrow. actually not spawning a whole lot of monsters. But when it gets to this boss, okay, so there's that. Okay, so the boss is coming out. So this one does a lot of hurtful things.
No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait.
All right, well. Okay. All right, let's try that again. I don't know what happened, but my screen just kind of froze there. Oh. I can't even see her. Okay, so I almost had her dead. There we go. Cool. All right, let's see what she dropped. Okay, so 9 coinage and then a Runic Crest. We'll go ahead and take that. Okay, now we have to catch up to where all the explosions took place. Okay, that's actually never happened before to get the vein like that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of backtrack. See, look at all that. Look at all that currency. That's nuts. So this is essence. Bow orb. Ooh, what is this? Urgent orders support. Wow, it's saying that this one is worth 10 chaos if it's 20% quality. That's actually really good. So again, currencies, divination cards. Okay, so this is one of the hideouts, like the caves that I was talking to you about. So we're going to go down in here. Okay, so this is one where I have to fight them. They're going to be shooting arrows that spawn mobs. And then at a certain point... Oh, okay. Oh, man. Oh, that was the Path of Exile special. When you die and you don't really understand how it happened. That's what we call the special, baby. Okay, so he's down. He's down. He's down. Okay, so whatever those guys are, it seems like I can't affect them. But that's okay. We don't have to kill them, technically. We can just get out of here with our tail tucked between our legs. Because as much as I'm sure you guys love watching me die, let's get back to the real reason you're here. I'm just kidding. Maybe that is the real reason. Maybe you're like, man, I just can't wait. And you're keeping track like, oh, this is death number 556. It's like, oh, thanks for keeping track, man. So this is just one where you don't have to fight anything. You come down here and there's just a couple of chests. So some contracts that I'll probably never do because I'm not a big fan of heist. Nice, some fossils. I'm actually going to be really interested to see how many... Well, looks like I'm lagging again. All right, take 4. Looks like I was having connection problems. I believe that was the last thing that we needed to collect. So all that's left to do is go over here, talk to Dannig.
Survive. You defeated Varrock.
Talk to Tujin because that was the boss we fought is Tujin's ancestor, more or less. So I thought that was a cool little touch that they added into the game with that. Typically what I like to do is I like to go around just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Obviously I wouldn't have to do that, but I had a little bit of a connection issue, but I mean, you know, that's just part of the fun, isn't it? Okay, so we did get everything. Let's see kind of what our inventory looks like. So we got 9 exotic coinage. We got some essence. We got this nice support gem that goes for 10 chaos. And then we got some bubblegum currency, some stuff for heist, stuff for fossils, crafting, contracts. And then we got 1 incubator. Oh boy. We'll add it. Add it to the inventory. All right. And then this thing, Runic Crest. So these things spawn in the expeditions and they give this stat that's called Ward. I got to be honest and say that I'm not 100% sure what this does. I will do some research and then kind of post a link down below in the description to give you guys more information about that if you're curious. But for now, I think that's going to do it for me here. So you got a little taste of short expedition as well as an expedition logbook. If you have any questions, please leave some comments. I'm more than happy to answer anything. Again, like I said in the last video, if you have a better way of doing expedition, please let me know. Or if you have some builds that you see excel at expedition more than projectile builds, just let me know. I'm willing to try new builds. I'm willing to do new things. I'm willing to make more content. So thanks again so much for joining. This is your first time being here. If you liked what you watched, like, comment, subscribe. It helps me a lot. If you didn't like it, that's okay. You're welcome to dislike the video. You're welcome to post your comments down below, letting me know where I can improve. I accept all feedback, and I appreciate all of you guys. And until next time, have a good night. Bye-bye. At a certain point... Oh, okay.